Okay.
All right, guys. Good evening, good afternoon in Brazil. Today, it's very special for me because we are celebrating 1 year working with English Brazil. And I
Wow.
remember that it was around this time that I had this idea to start with the program, and I got Bruce blessing, and I was able to start with this. And of course, I have to thank you all for being here with me for all this time. Back, I think it was in February or March 2024, my husband and I, we had also a session with all the staff of English Brazil. But today we are back with most of you not being staff, which is good for us, right? He was wondering if we're going to have many of the questions repeated. So he was just like, should I prepare? Should I get nervous? I say, no, it's going to be spontaneous. So a little introduction. I think everybody knows me with exception of Ellen, because the first time, but yeah, I've been living here in Belgium for the last 18 years, also married to him for all this time. And what else can I say? Okay, they know me. Tell them a little bit about you before we start with the round of questions.
Hi guys, nice to meet you. Well, it's true that Simone is my wife already for 17, 18 years. My nationality is Dutch. I've born in Eindhoven, is a city about 1 hour from here, 1 hour, 50 minutes. But when I born there, after 2 years, actually, I moved back to the south of the Netherlands. And I was growing up around the city of Maastricht. It's actually the most southern part of the Netherlands. It's close to the border of Belgium and Germany. So it's
May I put the map? May I show you?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Here it is.
You can type Lana, that's L-A.
No.
Sorry?
L
L
for Lima, L-A.
L-E.
A, Alpha.
Okay.
N for Nico.
Sorry?
N for Nico, November.
Landfield. Land.
A,
L-A-N.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
and then again, A.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Lanaken. Yes, that's where we live. You
Oh,
see, if you zoom, let's see what we're gonna see there. You can see Maastricht on the right side. You see the border, Belgium, Netherlands.
yeah, must.
Go a little bit down. Down a little. Yeah, so you see, we live just across the border. It's like 7 kilometers.
Not even.
Not even.
Maybe 5.
So you see, we
I'm
live
sorry.
really in the border with the Netherlands.
Okay.
Lanaken, Maastricht. So if we drive half an hour, we are in Germany as well. So this region, we call it a triangle because we have the 3 countries, just like that. Half an hour from here, we are in Germany. 10 minutes from here, we are in Maastricht. In another half an hour, we are in the French part of Belgium. We speak French there. So I have 3 languages as well. He speaks a little bit of German. Maybe Barbara can you can test him later on. And I speak French. So when we are together, we have 3 languages because I don't speak German and he doesn't speak French. So we can travel a little bit in this region, no problem. To see Germany, Renato, you're gonna have to zoom out a little bit because you still cannot see Germany. No, not zoom in, zoom out a little bit. Yeah, you see Colonia, Düsseldorf, that is already in Germany. You see? All
Yeah.
these cities on the right side is Germany from where we are.
Okay. Okay, great. Then we're going to look
So,
for another map.
okay, so let's start with questions.
Okay, and I think that first of all, I think that you have to explain us to tell us how did you met, how did you know each other, how did you meet, how did you meet each other?
Well,
Uh,
actually, that's very nearby from your side, because if you look in the back, you see a ship.
Yeah, you did it on purpose. You knew already. Okay, can you please? Yes. Okay, Philippe. Philippe loves to tell this story. I'm gonna let him go ahead and tell you.
No, I mean, we met on the cruise ship. So we were working together on that ship. For me, was my first time, my first contract. For Simone was already her third, I guess. She worked on other ships before, but it was also a Brazilian company. And now we work for Crystal Cruises. That was an American company. So I was actually already working there for 3 or 4 months. And then I think we met on the on my half contract. We met. There were just a few Brazilians on the ship and just a handful of Dutch guys. Maybe five Brazilians, five Dutch, and all the other staff members, they were Austrian or German or a lot of Scandinavians. So I mean, we came along, because if you have just five Brazilian and five Dutch people, I mean, it's easy to get contact.
uh,
Um,
how long
so
was that? How long was that? How many years it was this meeting?
what do you mean?
No, that was 19, 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
No, that's
Years.
Renato, that's how he tells you like, oh, we just met because there was not that many people from other countries. You know what? Like Magda is here. She's a friend from Poland. There were like 50 Polish people there, 20 from I don't know from where, from America, French people. There were people from all different nationalities, and there were not that many Brazilians and not that many Dutch. But that's his version. But my version was out of all those men, it was like 20% women and 80% men.
Oh, come on.
All those men, a sea of men. I saw him and I was just like,
Yeah.
wow, he's gonna be my husband. He's mine. I told that to all the girls, and that's how we got together. I just picked him just like that, my prince who became my king.
You was faster than the other girls.
Yes, I had to be very fast, and I had to show my Brazilianity. And he was just like, wow, she's the one. So that's how we got together, you see?
Okay, great.
You have to tell them with more
Yeah.
excitement.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
after
Yeah.
all these years, he's just tired. You can see him. He's just like, oh, yeah. I have to tell them again. This is story.
No, but everything went very fast, actually. I mean, and afterwards, actually, I quit my contract because I was actually on the halfway of a world cruise. And actually, I went to my manager and I signed off because Simone left the ship already a week before. So, I mean, after 1 week, I went to the manager and I said, well, I have the family emergency. I have to get off the ship as soon as possible. Of course, I was bullshit.
Oh, don't talk like that. He was
I
lying.
was lying, of course. And so I left the ship and then I flew back from Los Angeles back to Brussels. And
Uh-huh.
I stayed home alone for three months.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then afterwards, I went back to Brazil and I picked her up actually with all her suitcases. And
And the rest is history. Let's go to
and
the
the rest is history.
let's go for the next question.
Okay.
Marcela, please.
I don't know if the rest is history, Simone. But help me to ask this. I want to know, guys, as a couple, of course, what what are your preferences, about food? For example, when you go to a couple thing, like, oh, we're gonna spend time us together, like in a in a restaurant, how kind of food and drinks uh, you enjoy as a couple? Uh, what kind of
Mm.
activities you like to do together as a
Mm.
couple?
Well, I think I'm gonna go start with this question because it's very interesting. When we first met, I was a vegetarian. I was a vegetarian for 5 years when we met, but then he's a meat lover. And for me, it was very difficult to keep up being a vegetarian. Also because of the fact that we were working on the ship for so long and I couldn't control exactly what I was eating. So I started to feel the need to eat meat again. It was not easy at all. It was very difficult after 5 years to start eating meat again. But then because of him, actually, I started to eat meat. Because of me, he started to drink less beer because I don't drink beer. So he's starting to drink more wine because of me, let's say. And when it comes to food, like this Friday is Valentine's and we still celebrate Valentine's. We're going to a Japanese restaurant. There's something that we enjoy together. What else you want to compliment on that? I think we didn't have that many problems. When it comes to culture, like I was already not living in Brazil for 10 years when we met. So I was not that Brazilian when it comes to food. I was not missing my rice and beans, let's say, because you don't like beans that much, right?
No.
So what else?
Why not? They give you good gas.
Hi, Bruce. Welcome.
What's up,
Yeah,
Philip?
he's there. He's there.
You're there.
What else about food and
No, I mean,
we don't
we never have arguments or about food or, I mean, I actually love all kind of kitchen. Cuisine, yes. I
He's
mean,
Dutch. He's Dutch. He's so Dutch.
in the beginning, she had some trouble with the Dutch kitchen.
Like what? Like what?
Yeah.
Cuisine, not kitchen. Cuisine. Like for instance, I didn't eat mushrooms, right? Champignons, we call it here. I was not keen to that. I learned to eat that. What else? Mustard. I was not that with mustard, but here and in Germany they eat lots of mustard. I don't know, it's Switzerland. Barbara, do you eat lots of mustard there? I think so, right? Yeah, you see,
Yeah.
in Brazil, we didn't eat much of mustard, so I learned to eat that as well. Asparagus is also something that we don't eat much in Brazil. I start eating here. I didn't learn to drink beer, even if we live in Belgium. It's a very famous country for beer. I still don't like to drink beer. I don't drink beer at all. What else? Whiskeys, we also don't drink whiskeys. So we're boring, guys. We are boring. All right, all right,
No,
all
you
right.
are lovely. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Marcela, thank you. Fabio,
Hi
we have a
guys.
question.
Hi,
Hey,
my name is
Ruben.
Ruben. I'm
Oh,
Ruben
oh.
from
Hey, Ruben, you're more than welcome
yeah.
here, but you have to
I'm
go
the
online. You see,
I,
there's two guys
I
waiting. There are two guys
oh
waiting
sorry.
for questions.
Sorry, I can't find my hand here.
Okay,
I
you're
don't
a
see it.
third on the line. All right, Fabio, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Yes, I have. Hello, Philip. Hello, guys. How have you been? Philip, I don't know if you remember me, but in our last conversation last year, guys, I was in your first session. we talked about beer. You show us
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah,
cups
yes, I
to have different
remember.
beers.
Like
Yeah, I guess your hair is a little different. It's blonde now, but last year was brown, black, something like that. I guess you
My
changed.
hair? Really?
Yeah, your hair. I guess your hair is a little different. But my question for you is, you have been married with Simone for almost 18 years now. She is a Brazilian. She speaks Portuguese, of course. My question, actually, I have two questions. The first one is, have you been to Brazil? And the second one is, are you able to speak some Portuguese?
Ah, eu falo pouco português. Entende pouco.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I understand more than speaking, actually. Um, so your first question is about, what was it? About beer?
Have you
No,
Oh,
been to Brazil?
going to Brazil. How many
okay,
people in
yes.
Brazil?
My first time was in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I went there to have a long vacation. I stayed there
Mm-hmm.
3 months, 2 or 3 months, and then afterwards we came back together, me and Simone.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time was in 2008. And when
Mm-hmm.
went alone with a friend of me, we went to Rio de Janeiro for a short trip for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
then
how
the
about
third time, yeah, the third time was in 2012 after 2015.
We went to his city. We went to
Yeah.
Bahia, Ilhéus. We were in Ilhéus,
in
2012.
the south of the state, you know? You are almost a Brazilian now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I I mean, every time when I go back to Brazil, I mean, everybody knows me. And
The last
Famous
even
question.
already.
even if Sao Paulo is a huge city, I know already where to go, you know?
And everybody
I
Mhm,
says,
know where
oh,
the clubs are, where the
yeah,
restaurants are.
there's the gringo. Oh, look at him. If you go to the stadium, he looks so lost. Everybody points at him. Oh, gringo, gringo, let's go sell him something. They come with t-shirt, popcorn, whatever, because they know he's Brazilian, right?
Unbelievable.
He's so
Yeah.
Brazilian.
Yeah. And the last question is, what is your favorite Brazilian food?
Ah, picanha.
Meatloaf.
Everybody like this.
I like picanha. Yeah,
Nice. I like it as well. Okay, thank you, Felix. Thank you, Simon.
thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Carlos.
Oh, hello, everyone. Hello, Philippe and Simone. This is my second time with you. And I want to know about your family because Philippe is from Netherlands and Simone Brazilian. And you have one or two children. And what language do you speak at home?
Well, we stay with just normal Dutch because it's we speak a lot of dialects here as well. So better not speak dialect, otherwise it's getting too confused for the children. But I remember in the beginning Simone started speaking Portuguese with my oldest daughter. Um, we spoke at time a bit English, but I mean, the mother language is Dutch on the school, so we start with that. So the language is just Dutch.
Okay, okay,
Belgium
okay.
Dutch. Belgium Dutch.
Yeah. When it comes to that, it's the I am still very disappointed at myself and also sad, to be honest, that the children, they are not bilingual. There are many reasons for that. The first reason is, of course, because we are a mixed couple. When the children, they have a parents who are from the same nationality and speak one language, it's easier for them to become bilingual. Also, what I've noticed from having experience with people here, especially mothers, when they have a mixed couple like us, and the mother is a stay-home mother, they can really take the time and they can teach their children also when they struggle to learn the common language. So let's say a Spanish, I know a Mexican lady, She doesn't work, she doesn't go out to work, so she's very difficult for her to learn Dutch. She doesn't speak English, right? So her language is Spanish, and she's with Spanish 100% in her mind. She does everything, what she does is in Spanish, so automatically she speaks that with the children all the time. For me, it was already very difficult because I was not living in Brazil for 10 years, so my mind was not set in Portuguese by the time the children were born. I tried to teach them Portuguese, I tried to go to English. It was very difficult, so we went back to Dutch, and it's been like that for the past 10 years, let's say. But now I'm introducing Portuguese and English at the same time. So the oldest is 14, speaking quite well English, and Portuguese, they're improving, but they are not bilingual, unfortunately. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Sirles.
Could you share one of challenges to live in Belgium, because you are Brazilian? So could you share if you have a challenge to live in Belgium?
I think this question is also for Philippe, right? Because he's Dutch. You want to start first? Why is there something that you think is difficult for you to live in Belgium being a Dutch? Even if you have the same language, it still is difficult, I think.
I mean, the culture, there's still a culture difference, even if it's a so small area here, because it's, you know, in 15 minutes you're in Holland, or 15 minutes you're in Belgium, it doesn't matter. But still, they're separated countries with different, how you call that?
We have the culture, we have the language.
The languages, you have each few kilometers you have another dialect. So there's still differences, even if it's, for example, Europe is one united, you know, it's all the rules they are made in Brussels, for example, but still every country has its own way of living, and so that's, I mean, for me as a Dutch guy, I love to work in Holland. I worked before in Belgium, and there's still some differences about the tax system. Well, there are a few other things, but
I
but
think
not really.
to complement on what he's saying, I think that it's very difficult to make friends here. Belgians are very closed, and they're very conservative. So they just stick to their own, and I mean, I have Belgian friends, but it took me such a long time to become close to them. But when they open up for you, then they take you for life, but it takes a long time. Two of my best friends, they used to be colleagues, so we used to work together, and then we became friends very slowly. Two of them just through the children. But when it comes to be a Brazilian and living in Belgium, it was very difficult for me personally. I think for every foreigner, anyhow. For me, I was just like, oh, I'm moving to the Netherlands with him. It's already, I've been, before going to the Netherlands, I had lived already in 5 different countries. I spoke 4 languages. So then I was just like, oh, with all the experience that I have, with all this language, it's going to be a piece of cake. No, it was very difficult still. I had to learn Dutch from zero. Then we went to the Netherlands. I thought I was learning Dutch, and then we moved to Belgium. It is different. You can compare to Brazilian Portuguese, because you think, oh, it's the same language. But when you arrive in Portugal, sometimes it goes like, you don't understand 100%. It was pretty much the same here. Like Philippe was saying, there's a border. It's really not far, but it's still, you have to pay attention. Otherwise, you don't understand everything. And then when it comes to work, was also a struggle. I got a job that I had to speak French. Oh, but you're French. Oh, you have a Brazilian accent when you speak French. Oh, let's go to English. Oh, your English is okay, but we need also Dutch or French. Oh, but when you speak Dutch, you have also an accent. Oh, but your French is not good enough. Your Dutch is not good enough. I worked only in Belgium, in the French part and in the Flemish part. So I was struggling with that as well at the beginning. To change careers, because when I first came, we were working on a cruise ship, so I was working in hospitality, and I wanted to have an office job, so it was not easy at all to get there. I had to go back to school. I had to improve my Dutch. I had to speak Dutch the way the Flemish people do, not with that much Dutch accent. You know what I mean? So it was lost. It was very difficult. It's not easy. Not at all. But if you want to come here and you want to work, you're gonna find a job right away. It's not that you don't get a job, but if you want to go do something that you really like or really love, then you struggle a little bit. All right? But you
Okay,
just
thank
have to
you.
keep going, you know? The fact that we have children and a family, of course, helps also with having him not speaking Portuguese all the time. Then you switch to Dutch, that helps as well. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Meg and Vlad. Philippe, we have another couple.
Here we go.
Uh,
We go back to food. Like for Philip, like as a meat lover, like we had the experience to trying to find picanha in Australia, and it was the closest thing was rump steak, which is a part of that. But how is your experience about meat when you go to a restaurant in Belgium? Like I know it's not that far, you can cross the border and have your meat as you like, but how is that?
I mean, there are many meat restaurants here, so I mean, but there's still some huge difference with the meat from Brazil or from Argentina, for example. And you don't get it in that big quantity. Like if you go to Brazil, I mean, you get a picanha, you really get a picanha, and it's like 1 kilo.
Yeah.
But here, I mean, 1 kilo is very expensive. So if you go to a restaurant here, everything is small portions. So you don't get huge portions because it's in Brazil, they mix a lot. And here you get, okay, you get potatoes, you get your meat, you get your sauce, everything is separated, but in smaller portions. So this kind of, how you call that? Hoe zeg je ook weer die restaurants?
Rodizio.
The rodizio
Ah.
style, we don't have that here.
Yeah.
So we have, for example, the Japanese kitchen, they have this all-you-can-eat style.
Mhm.
But that's the only one. So we don't have a pizzeria in
What a shame.
all you can eat or no. It's
Oh.
just the sushi. But about meat, it's very yeah, it's very expensive. I mean, it's I know that the meat in Brazil is also expensive, like picanha. But
Right
in
now,
picanha,
yeah.
you buy, for example, you go to the supermarket and you buy a huge picanha, and then you share the cost a bit. There's also something for Brazil. Yeah, I've experienced, and so, but yeah, I mean, I don't have that famous kind of meat. I love actually all the meat. So if it's good quality, we here in Masu we have a restaurant called weet dat ook weer?
Gauchos.
Gauchos.
Yeah,
That's an Argentina restaurant. They have also good quality. Yeah, but what I know with picanha is that it's always you go to the supermarket and you buy 1.5 kilo or 2 kilo picanha and you share it.
Hola, churrasco.
The cost. But the thing is about picanha, that's easy. You get picanha, charcoal, and rock salt. That's it. You're you're all set.
Yeah. but I like the meat. You know, it's still we had some friends here in the summer, and they as a present they bought us some picanha. I don't know how many kilo.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was a
We are
lot.
not used to that. Also, when you put the salt on top like that, and here in Holland, in the Netherlands and in Belgium, as Philippe was saying, we eat a lot with sauces. So we have different sauces. And he was just like, oh, I get a picanha just like that with natural
Dry.
sauce, and also very dry, and with the salt. What is that? A huge thing, a stone on my meat, you know, like this salt that we throw for the taste. So for him was a very, very different to eat like that for the first time. But of course now he's used to it and he loves it.
Thank
All
you.
right. Meg, do you have a question or are we gonna go?
No, I am
Not at
okay.
all.
I'm just listening
Okay.
today.
All right. Ruben, are you ready for your question? He's a friend of ours here in the Netherlands, guys. His
I'm going to
first
give
time
my place to Ruben.
participating.
Ruben, he wants to make a question. Yeah.
Yes. Ruben, are you there?
You're mute.
Yeah,
Already.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I still didn't find my hand. Yeah. So nice to see you all. Yeah, and Simone, you just invited me for the next circle. We just came out of another one. So I'm really curious. I have no idea what this group is about. So I'm just curious what
You missed the introduction as well. So that's why I told you I cannot explain that because we don't have time. We just went from one meeting to the other. But anyhow, here we are with this Brazilian community just asking questions tonight. So tonight is the two of us. If you have a question, you can just ask us and we're gonna answer.
Okay. Well, so I've known you for about 8 years now,
Yeah.
2017.
Okay.
So I don't have a direct question, but I am curious about the rest. If this is like a kind of information group for people who are thinking about moving to Europe, or just
You know what I'm
curious
gonna do,
about
Ruben?
life in
I'm not
Europe?
gonna answer you that. I'm gonna let Renato do that because Renato is the only one here who's been to most of the meetings, and he's also Brazilian.
Okay.
Renato, please explain Ruben a little bit about the meaning of these meetings.
Well, Ruben, in short, this is a community that join, I can say twice a week, sometimes one time, twice a week. And we get together to speak about some characteristics of each country. Okay, so I think that this is the reason for that Simone has the idea to create this group. Okay, so this is the reason for this group exists. Yeah, so you are welcome if you want to participate anytime. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Obrigado for
De nada.
the post introduction.
All right, and Renato, you had another question for us?
Yeah, I'd like to ask a curious question. If you didn't live in Belgium, what country would you like to live?
Oh, that's a good one, right? I'm gonna let Philippe answer that because he was telling you guys we don't disagree that often, but maybe it would become a big point of discussion to where we would move to. Where would we live if it was not here?
I mean, for me, I like the Scandinavian countries a lot. Like Sweden or Denmark. I mean, we've been there in 2016 as
tourist.
As a tourist. So I really love this kind of countries of the peace there is, the nature, the people are very friendly. So I think I would definitely live there. However, still I like I don't have a country in Europe where I can say like, oh, I really don't like that country. I think each country has its positive things.
Yeah.
And Europe is a small continent. Switzerland is also very on my top list. I love Switzerland. I mean, I drove through the country, but I never been there on holiday. But this is also something I really love, actually.
Renato, if you go up a little bit in the map, you're gonna see the Scandinavian countries. It's Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. If you go up, you see there, Dinamarca? Yeah. So those are the countries he's mentioning. Dinamarca, Denmark, Sweden,
Yeah,
and Norway. So back in 2016, we took 2 weeks vacation and we went to these 3 countries. Stockholm, Copenhagen, and Oslo. It's the capital of the 3 countries. And that's why he's saying he would like to live there. For me, I think it's a very difficult question.
It's not too cold to go to
Yeah,
country.
so that's it wouldn't be bad to live there, but in the winter, after all these years living here in Belgium, my body is starting to complain, let's say. It's starting to get difficult during the 3-4 months winter. So I think when we get a little bit older, we either go back to Brazil for the winter time or we're gonna go down to Spain, France. That would be my option, my choice, also because of the languages that I speak. I would like to speak more French or Spanish. During the winter here, a little bit more summer. Go back to Brazil wouldn't be that bad, but it's very far. And I don't know what's going to happen with the children. So if the children decide to live in Belgium or stay here, for us to fly back and forth all the time, it's not going to be that easy. So for the moment, we're definitely going to stay in Belgium.
Yeah, okay.
Yes?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine living in a so cold country like you live, because here, for example, here in France, the temperature reached 42 degrees centigrade. Yeah. So it's impossible for me to survive in a place like that. No, I'm joking. I think that, as Philip said, every place has its own characteristics, and every place has their beauties and their problems. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Totally agree. Yes.
Thanks a
All
lot.
right. First timer here. Ellen, you're more than welcome. And we are very
Thank you.
curious about your question.
So my question is more about curiosities about the 2 countries. And I've learned that Netherlands has more bike than people. I think it's 23 million bikes for not only, but 17 people. And also is the tallest people in the world. And Beijing is a country of chocolate. So I'd like to know more about curiosities of these 2 countries.
Oh, that's a great question. And you're right. You did your homework. All right. Tell them about the Netherlands.
Yeah, there's so many bikes here. It's you have highways for bikes. You have parking stations for bikes. So it's always nice when Brazilians come here and they are a bit in shock what they see. That there are so many bikes everywhere. The bikes they are laying on the streets. Now they are making the inhabitants of the cities like Amsterdam and Maastricht, or student cities, they are complaining now because the students, they throw their bikes on the streets. So it's getting a problem. And so instead of dealing with other important things, now they are complaining about bikes. Everything is about bikes. So that's crazy, because in Brazil they don't have this kind of issues. I never seen any bike in Sao Paulo, for example. Sometimes one crazy guy is there with his bike. But here the people are just this is also something from our culture. We are complaining all the time. This is something, I mean, we are really
No,
well.
just you, Philippe.
Sorry?
Just you.
It's me, yeah, but you know
It's
exactly how.
just you complaining.
I've
The rest
read
is
an
fine.
article in the newspaper about the bikes in Maastricht. And so, yeah, that's what they do. They complain then about that, about the bikes, for example.
What else can
What
you tell
else
us
can we
about
say?
Holland is also famous for the tulips. They export tulips to many other countries. They have one of the how do you call that? Keukenhof from the tulips, Keukenhof. Yeah, they have a garden, one of the most famous gardens in the world, Keukenhof, where people get to walk around for hours to explore different kind of flowers. They have these snacks. Renato, can you please share the screen again? And I'm gonna put it on the chat so you can let them see some of the snacks, which are very different than in Brazil. For instance, let them see that bitterballen. That's something that I'm sure Barbara, for instance, she knows that because she travels a lot, but I'm also pretty sure that she doesn't have that in Switzerland. Do you have that in Switzerland, Barbara? No, right?
No, we don't have.
So
I
so
know it from Amsterdam.
but you know them, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
also- and it's you can also tell them the taste. You cannot compare to anything you've ever eaten before, right? It's very
Yeah,
typical
it's
from this region here.
I
You cannot compare. So that's
no.
something that you maybe when I come to Brazil in July, I'm gonna have to bring with me, and whoever wants to taste it has to come visit because it's very, very unique from this part of Europe. Renato, can you share the screen with the and I put it on the chat. The name of bitterballen. There is a Holland and also Belgium. They have this snack culture, let's call it. It's they throw many things in the fried, how do you call that? In the pan fried, and then they like to eat lots of French fries, for instance. There's many stuff that they just throw in the fry. And they eat it fried. They're not that into sweets that much, the Dutch. The Belgians, they have this, when you go to the bakery, for instance, they have all this kind of cakes with lots of different sweets that they eat also. In Belgium, then they fight about the French fries because they say that the Belgium invented the fries the way we know nowadays, but everybody calls them French fries, but it's actually Belgium. Belgium is also famous for the waffles, beer. Here in Belgium, I think have 200 types of more of beer. I'm not that
Thousands.
great with beer, but I know they have so many kinds. And for each beer, they have a particular glass. It's not like in Brazil, you go to a boteco and you get a Brahma, Skol, whatever, all these beers, and they all have the same glass. No. Here in Belgium, if you give a Duvel, I don't know, how do you call Stella Artois, for instance, this beer, you have to have the same glass to drink the beer, otherwise they get upset. Okay, so Renato is okay. Renato, did you check the words that I just put it on the chat? Bitterballen. It's gonna be difficult for him to. Okay, I'm gonna spell it. B for Bravo. Bitter. B-E, not beer. I'm talking about this snack that I would like to show you guys. So yes, so B-I, yeah, double T for tango. And then E for echo, the E, yeah? Bitter. You see the second one, croquete hollandaise. You see that? Click on that. The second one, the second one. Wait, you just miss it. Bitter. Go back. Back. Once again. And then the B, no, back. Bitter bollen. Go back. Okay, B-A-A.
It's all together.
Yes, double. Yeah, there you go. You see? You just miss it. Go back with the A. One more. Go back. Go back. Oh yeah, bitterballen. You see? In blue. In blue. Click on that one. Go up. Click on. Yes. There you go. You see those little things, croquette hollandaise? That is very typical from here. It might look like something you know in Brazil, but it tastes completely different.
It seems to be coxinha.
No, that's what I mean. It might look similar, but they taste completely different. It's with meats, right? Coxinha, for instance, then it's chicken, and then you have with cheese also, but this is really typical from the Netherlands.
It looks delicious.
Yes, it's really nice.
So
Is
you
that
can
really
imagine-
bitter or just?
No, it's not bitter. No.
It's just the name, but it's not bitter.
So the Brazilians who come here as a tourist, for example, her brother, I remember the first time he came here, I introduced him with a lot of snacks. So we went to a snack bar. We got a lot of different kind of snacks together with a lot of special beers. And he was like, oh, the beers in Belgium, they're nothing special. I say, oh, okay, then keep drinking your
Água do Brasil.
Água do Brasil. I said, keep drinking your Água do Brasil. And then we went to a pub. I gave him the most strongest beers. And the guy got so drunk
After three, because in
he
Brazil,
got
I
so
can
drunk.
drink 20 in Brazil, no problem. I say,
Okay.
Anyhow, okay, Barbara is reading with a question. Okay, Barbara.
Mhm. So you told us that you met on this cruise ship
Yes.
because you worked there. What was your work there?
Yes, I was working in the dining rooms, waitress, and Philippe as well at the beginning, but then he came home and he went back with another position. He was working in a bar. So we are both actually hospitality people, both working as a waitress, a waiter, barman. When I first came to Belgium, my 3 years, I also worked in a restaurant, in a hotel for the first 3 years. And then I went back to school and I got an office job. I work with exports at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
Bruce, are you
Yeah.
there? Or are you busy? Because we're also waiting for a question. Oh, he didn't.
Well, I created a question and I was going to ask, where are the prices cheaper? Are they in Netherlands or Belgium? Like
Oh,
with
that's
gas
a
or
good question.
That's a
food?
good one.
Okay, Philippe is going to answer that. He knows the differences. And that's also a great reason to live just across the border, because you can take both cheapest parts, right? Okay, Philippe.
So we have benefits of 2 countries. So it doesn't matter. For example, for gasolina, you go to Belgium, it's much cheaper there. You go for houses, Belgium is cheaper. Cars are cheaper. So many things are cheaper, but there's still some difference.
You have
Groceries, for example. I think Holland usually is a bit cheaper because they have a lot of promotions. In Belgium, they don't offer that much promotions. What else?
When it comes to clothes as well, There's more
Holland.
variety in
There's more in
Holland.
Holland. There's more variety. Yes. So we have taxes. Some. I think it's 6%. I guess tax. Then the car insurance, it's cheaper in Belgium, but then the taxes you pay on the government is cheaper in Holland. So there's
So you have an opportunity to basically select from either country for all the things.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything we balance. We go to Holland for this, we go to Belgium for that.
Okay.
So for instance, you know, like Philippe works in the Netherlands, I work in Belgium, right? To give you an example, we have 2 children, and if we both worked, for instance, in the Netherlands, we would get 150 euros a month on child support. Here in Belgium, we get 350. For instance, you see, it's
Wow.
double in Belgium.
insurance, life insurance,
Life insurance.
health.
So there's so many things that we
in Holland, a health insurance costs about 150 euro in Holland per month, a person. Yeah, just the basic, for example. But in Belgium, it's 117 a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
a huge difference.
Yes, so we have the best of the 2 words in one household. So we try to just take the advantages that we can.
But if you, for example, work in Holland, for me, I have to get 2 health insurances, one for Belgium and one for Holland. Because I live in Belgium, so if something happens with me in Belgium, I need a Belgium health insurance. But if I go to work, I cross the border and something happens on Dutch soil, for example, then I need an insurance because they have to bring me to a Dutch hospital, you know? So it's like...
Yeah.
It was a very good question, Bruce. Thanks.
Well, I do need to go. I'm not saying you guys have to go, but I have to go.
No,
And
but
I just
you're
want to
right.
say, I just want to say thank you for your time and for everybody who came today. Thank you all for coming.
Okay, thank you, Bruce.
Thank you for being here.
It's very good. Yeah, it's really a nice session with you and Philippe. Yeah, and I think that's our time to finish. But
Yes, Bruce just reminded us the time has passed so fast.
Time flow, yeah. But it was a pleasure to be with you here, and well, I hope to see you next week. Yeah.
Yes, I'll be back. Philippe just told me like 1 hour before starting the meeting, he says, I will do it again, but please ask me over a year. You see, he's worse than my friends. My friends are just like, when can I participate again? Call me. Let me know. And he goes like, once a year, more than enough. I say, okay, as long as you keep it your promise for once a year, I'll be happy. Anyhow, guys, I like to make jokes about him and with him. Thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure for us. I hope for him as well. And I will see you next Saturday. It's gonna be this lovely couple here, Meg and Vlad. See you Saturday.
I hope see you then.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Barbara.
Simone, thank you, Philip.
Bye-bye. Thanks for being here.
Bye.